Hi everyone, welcome to another session with Harita Hive. Today I'm your instructor Akshay, and today we will learn the basic uh, map making in QGIS, right? So if you are just let this QGIS load and I will tell you how to actually create a very simplified map in QGIS. Moreover, we will create a particular type of map, that is population density map. Okay, so if you are very new to GIS, you need to download the software QGIS. Just simply Google the word QGIS and there you will find the link to this website, that is Spatial Without Compromise QGIS website. Just simply click on it and you have the option to download it here. So just download and install QGIS in your computer. Now, our today aim is to learn creating a basic map in QGIS using feature layers. Okay, so to download some available resource data, what we can do is you have to find some data, either you have some data or you need to locate some data. For our current exercise, we will look for some data on the internet. So for example, there is this website called as Diva GIS. In Diva GIS, you have this option of downloading different kind of feature layers for different countries. So I'm going to click on this data here. Now, before downloading data from here, I want to make one important note that anything that you download from this website cannot be officially used. It is not an official data. It is just for visualization, learning, and uh, just educational purposes. You cannot use this data in research paper or somewhere because these are not official values. Now, simply select India. So you can select any country, but for our current session, we will choose some place in India. So select India and in subject, you can, for example, choose administrative areas and download the shapefile. Now we have the data downloaded here. Simply open your data, extract it. In your extracted data from this website, you will find there are different layers of administration layers. For example, administration 0, administration 1, administration 2, administration 3. I will show you the difference in this data, what is the difference in the name and what this data represents. So open your QGIS, simply open a new template. For example, let us first drag the in the shapefile of the administration 0. Let us drag this to our QGIS. So the shapefile here used is wrong. Actually, this is not the actual shapefile of India, but this is just for reference purpose. I will tell you where you can download the official for official purposes. Okay, so this is the complete boundary of India. Now that is the 0th level. Then we have the another shapefile, that is ADM1. So ADM1 has the sub provinces, that is the states. So if you see, this was the complete boundary, that was ADM0. Then we have this other one, that is ADM1. Now let me put ADM2 here. So this is up to district level. Okay. So in QGIS, you can move the layers above one another like this. So there is this option to move the layers, right? So whichever layer you want to visualize first, you can move it above the another. So we have three boundaries now: ADM0, ADM1, ADM2, and then there is ADM3. So let me load the ADM3. Okay. Now this is just for visualization purpose, this data. This is not official data. If you need to download the official boundaries in India, what you can do is simply go to Google and just look for Survey of India shapefile. When you enter this Survey of India shapefile, you will find this first link, that is Survey of India digital products. Okay, so you need to click on this digital products. Once you click on this digital products, you will find many products that are available from Survey of India to us. For example, geo-referenced color map, digital geographic map, digital vector database. For our purpose, we are just looking for the basic shape files. So just go to the format section. In the format section, in the second last point, you will find the shapefile point. Just simply click on shapefile and the page will refresh. So once it refreshes, just move down a little and you will find the options here, administrative boundary database. So you can simply click on it, and to download this you need to actually log into this Survey of India's website. You can create a login simply. For example, if I click here, click to buy, so the website here takes a little time to load. So what we can do is, by that time we can use the file that we have already downloaded and loaded in our layer. So we have the shapefile here. Now our basic purpose today is to create a map. Now we want to create a map out of this data. So maybe let us do some data manipulation, some data analysis, so that we can create a meaningful map. So we will be creating the population density map of some particular state in India. Okay, so first of all, let us look for this shapefile which has the different states. So in ADM1 you can find the different states of India. So for example, if I go to the properties and in label section, if I choose the single labels, and in single label I choose, it is administration 1, I choose name 1 for it. So if you go to the attributes of this file, you will find that in name 1 the state's name is mentioned. So if I click apply now, all the different states are showing up here, right? So this is the basic visualization of the labels. Now the next thing that I want to do is, I want to take some districts out of some particular state and create a map out of it. Okay, so let me choose the state, that is let me choose Punjab for now. Okay, so now I want to extract the Punjab shapefile from this layer. What I can do is simply open the attributes of this layer. In the attributes of layer, so this is ADM1. So ADM1, look for the name 1 for Punjab. So this is Punjab here. Once you select Punjab, what will happen is this polygon will get selected, right? In this polygon, now whichever layer you will select will highlight on this in this interface. So for example, if instead of Punjab, if I choose maybe Telangana, right? So Telangana gets highlighted. So for now, let us choose Punjab again. Now, once it is selected, just choose the shapefile and right click on it. There is an export option in the lower side. In this export option, you have the option of saving the feature, saving the selected feature, right? So we have selected Punjab, right? I just want to save this Punjab's layer. So what I can do is save the selected feature as. Now choose where I want to save it in my computer. So for example, if I choose to save it in one of a new folder, so I have saved it as Punjab state. Okay. Now, if you're working with some other coordinate system, you can change the coordinate system here, right? And also if you are working with Z dimensional data, though it is not valid for now, if you're working with 3D data, you can also use Z dimension. So I will click OK. Now, if you see, I have got a new shapefile of Punjab, right? So now my aim is that I want to clip out these districts of Punjab. I want to clip out these districts of Punjab from this below file. Okay. So what I can do is, either I can do the same thing, that is select the Punjab from the below shapefile and then again save selected feature as, right? Now one another option is to go to the processing toolbar. So if you go to this processing, there is this option toolbox. Either it is available here or also it is there. So just click on it and look for clip, right? And in clip you will find this clip. In vector overlay you will find this clip. So clip will be available to you in many sections, but you have to go for the clip available in the vector overlay. Now simply select it. So your input layer is ADM21 and your overlay layer is the Punjab state. Now if you simply click on run, you can see all the states below got clipped for just for Punjab, right? So this is the basic process of clipping. So because both the layers that I was clipping, both the layers were vector layer, I used the vector overlay. If one of the layer was to be, maybe if my layer was not a vector layer, instead I was working with a raster, then I would have used the raster extraction, right? So because both the layers were vector, so I used vector overlay. Now let us just do a basic visualization of this state data. So if I go to the labels, properties, labels, and here I can choose the single label, and here maybe if I select name 2 and apply. So if you see, I have all the name of the states of Punjab, right? Okay. If anyone is also watching our live session, if you come across any doubts, you can ask in the live chat. Okay. So the next thing is, I want to also clip the ADM level 3. Now again I have the so let us first rename this clip layer. Let me call as clipped ADM2, right? Now again I want to clip the ADM3. What I can do is, again I can go to this clip in the vector overlay, or there is another option that I can show you, that is using the filter method. In filter method, what you can do is just simply click on the filter here, right click on the layer, and there is a filter option here. Click on the filter. Once you click on the filter, you will have this name 3 title here. Click on name 3 and click on all. So all the unique names for the name 3 will come up here. Because we are classifying it based on the name 0, that name 1, that is we are classifying it for Punjab state. So rather we should instead take name 1 and click on all. So here select name 1, it will appear here. Name 1 should be equal to, look for Punjab and click on OK. Now if you press OK, what happened was all the other part of this ADM3 layer got disappeared. It is there, but because we applied this filter, you see that there is a filter symbol now. Now only the part of Punjab is visible to me. If I do any analysis here, if I do any kind of changes here, that will be applied to just this part only, not all of the India's shapefile. So if I want to undo the selection, what I can do is just simply click on it and remove it. So this time all the files, all the area will come back. Now there is another option also, that is in processing toolbox. You can look for select by attribute. There is an option called as select by attribute. You can choose either. You can extract also, that it will create a new shapefile, or either you can select. So simply if you click on select by attribute, so you want to choose this ADM3 layer, you want to select by the name, and it should be equal to, the value should be equal to Punjab. So for Punjab, open attribute. Because it is case sensitive, we need to write it the way it is written here. So value is equal to Punjab and run. Close. So you see it has selected the Punjab region, right? Now you can again right click on this layer, export this layer and save selected feature as, so I will call it as clipped AMD3 and simply click on OK. Now I have both the clipped layers for me, 3 clipped layers. One is the Punjab state, then I have the state wise data, then I have the district wise data. So if I label this data also, simply go to labels, select single label, name 3 and apply. So I have the name of the states, name of the districts. Now to create a map, what we can do is, there is an option here. Okay, so before going to create a map, we have to create a population density map, right? So for population density, we need to add some attributes to this file. So what we will do is simply click on the AMD2, right click on it, go to the attribute file. In the attribute, look for the field calculator. Click on the field calculator. You have to add a new layer. Call this layer as maybe let us call it as population, right? So we will be adding 2 or 3 layers. So one column is population. So in population, because the population can be a whole number, we'll just select integer. It cannot be a decimal number, right? So we select whole number. Okay. Here for the time being, just go to fields and values and select a null value. So a null is added here. because we are going to add values to it later on, but to make it appear on the attributes table, you have to add something. So you can add null, right? So simply click on apply, right? Now I have this population value, this population column here. Now I want to, if you want to make it a very accurate map, what you can do is you can simply go to Wikipedia or somewhere. You can look for the population of states of Punjab, right? So we have the district wise population here. Either what we can do is we can copy it from here and paste it here, okay, but that will take a little longer, or maybe we can create an accurate map. So I copy it for Ludhiana. Ludhiana is here. Then I copy for Amritsar. Amritsar is here. Then I copy, this will take a while. Then I copy for Gurdaspur. Okay, the data is not being added because, okay, so paste function is not working here. What I can do is I have to manually add the data. What I can do is simply, because there is difference in the font from here and here, it is not accepting that font. What we can do is we can manually create some random data. Okay, so this is just for visualization purpose. If you have to create an actual population density map, you have to add the actual values. So let us add any 6-figure values to all of them. Let us assume some values. Okay. Now I'm creating different values so that we can have the visualization how population density will look. So once the data is added here, so we have the population data added, right? So once the data is added, simply create a new column. So we'll again go to the field calculator. This time we are going to create a column that is area. So we are going to calculate the area of all the districts in our Punjab state. So simply put the name as area. Now look for the geometry option in this option box here. Look for the geometry point. So once you expand geometry, now this is the dollar area. So any symbol that appears here with a dollar is a calculation method. So it is to know what is the geometry of it. For example, this is to know if you have a point, to know the x coordinate. So we have different features with the, if you have a line string, you can use this dollar length. Okay, so for our current analysis, we are going to use dollar area. So once you click on dollar area, it will appear here. Because we want to have the value in kilometer squares, what we will do is we will divide this value by 10 raised to power 6. So, and simply click apply. Okay, so for three places we don't have the what we can do is, these are not in Punjab but they got selected somehow. We can do is we can delete these three. So now we have all the we have the population of all the states, we have the area that all the states cover. Now we can create a population density column. So population density, if you think of it, it would be population divided by the area, that is number of people living per square kilometer. Okay, so what you can do is, this time also again create a new column. You can call it as pop density. Okay, choose it for, because it is a division value, it will be coming in decimals, so it should be a decimal number, right? So select decimal number, and here you have to again go to field and values. Field and values is an option where you get all the columns available here. Okay, simply select field and values, choose population, create a division symbol, divided by area. Okay, remove all the blank spaces, simply click apply now. So you have the population density of these areas. So in my laptop, because it is a German made laptop, the point appears as comma. This is a fun fact, if you know that in Germany, in Europe, like we are using points. For example, if I'm expressing some value that is 2.34, in Europe it is expressed as 2,34. Okay, so here I have the population density. Now I want to represent this data with the population density. For example, what I can do is, first I need to save the layer. Instead of the labeling of the name, let me first show you the population density. Click on properties, instead of name, choose population density, and you can see the different population density of these states. Now after this, let us get back to the normal name. Now I want to visualize it with the name, but for population density I want different colors. Okay, to do that, what you can do is simply right click on it, simply choose the layer and right click on it. In properties, go to symbology. In symbology you will find this option above that is called as single symbol. In this single symbol, select the option of graduated. Okay, in graduated, select here the natural breaks and click on classify. Sorry, first we also need to select the value. So in value, select the pop density and then click on classify. So here is a color variation that you will find for different population density. Now you will understand what these classes means. You can increase the number of classes here. Either if you want 6 classes, you can make 6 here. To change the color ramp, there is this option of color ramp. Just go to this drop down menu here, and you can choose maybe spectral, that is more visualizingly that is visually more meaningful. Now what it actually means is that the values from 24 to 96 will be represented as this color. The population density from 96 to 199. So this is the round off. 96 to 200, it will be represented by this color. So if I now simply click on OK, you can see the population density of Punjab using different colors. So now I can simply visualize that the population of Patiala, Roopnagar, Jalandhar and Amritsar per square kilometer is similar, right? You can increase the number of classes if you want. You can change the colors here. So for example, if I don't like this yellow color here, what I can do is double click on this and change it to maybe blue, light blue, sky blue, right? So if I maybe want to increase the number of classes, I can go here again and change the number of classes to 8 maybe. So this will help us understand more. So now I can have more classes and I have an idea that, for example, Sangrur has the lowest population density. The blue color is the highest. So Fatehgarh Sahib has the highest population density. So this is not an official data. This is just for visualization. If you remember that we chose some random numbers, right? Now to visualize this, to make a map out of this, what you have to do is on the left side you will find project. Simply click on project and you will find an option here that is the new print layout. Click on this new print layout, give it a name. For example, we will say pop density map or population density map. Now this is the interface for the map making. This is when you will open this new layout, it will appear here. Okay. Now you can also say it as this is the drawing board of your map. There is this option here. So there is this option here to add a map. So you just simply click on it and define the extent to which you want to create a map. So for example, you want to create a map until this extent. Okay. So the map is rendered to this extent. Now if you want to zoom it or move it, what is there? There is this option called as move item control. Simply click on it. Now you can move it as you want. So maybe, for example, if I want to zoom it slowly, then I have to press the control button and then zoom it. Then there will be a slow zoom and zoom out. Otherwise, if I remove the control button and then I zoom it, it gets readily very big. Okay. Okay. So the next part is understanding the map elements. So now this is one thing. This is our data. We have visualized our data. There are other things in the map. So those things that are being added to the map are also called as the map elements, which are essential when you create a map. So the foremost thing is the north arrow. Now if you look here on the left side, there is an option to add a north arrow. So north arrow is important for us to understand the direction of the map. So just click on that option and after that you can create the north arrow. So if you want to, now in QGIS there is also this thing that though by default it is north arrow, you can also use it for creating some other symbols also. So for example, if I add it here, now you can see I have some symbol options here. So I can either add something else also, right? So it depends on you if you want to beautify your map. Now the next thing that we are going to add to our map is the scale. So there is this option on the left, if you can see, add a scale bar. So we will click on this and we will add it to our map. So generally the scale bar is on the base of the map but you can adjust it to any location you want. Okay. Now, what does the scale bar actually represent? So scale bar is a real earth observation of how the extent is on the map. So this makes us visualize that this much area, so for example this area until this area, this length, this Mansa area is almost about the length of 50 kilometers. So the extent of Mansa is 50 kilometers. This will help us to understand and have an idea about the extent of the that is the length of the uh, geographic file. Okay, so now I can just make a uh, visualization, but based on visualization I can make an analysis. For example, the length of Mansa is 50 kilometers, around 50 kilometers in some place, and Sangrur is almost very bigger than Mansa. Okay, now other than the, you can configure this scale here. Once anything that has been added to this sheet, if you click on it, its properties will open on the right side. So for example, if I click this, its properties open here. So you can configure this scale bar, how it should look, how the length of it, you can change it here, right? Now the next thing is, other than the north arrow and the, so in map symbology, these are two very important things. That is the legend, that is the scale bar and the north arrow. Now the next thing that we are going to add is the legend of the data. So legend is like the item description, what this is, what does these colors represent. Okay. So if you go on the left, you will find here an option to add a legend. So here is the option to add a legend. Simply click on it and you can add a legend here, right? So if you see, there are some unwanted elements in this legend. So we just want the colors here to be represented. I don't want the shapefile names here, but whatever was present in our interface in QGIS, it is being represented here. What I can do is, I can select this legend, go to go to item properties, and in this legend, choose this auto update button and choose the options that I want to remove. So before removing, you should uncheck the auto update button. So for example, I don't want ADM3, remove it. ADM2, remove it. Okay. So all the features that you want, you can remove it here simply. Now let us change the little, bring a little change to our map. Now the next thing that you want to do is add a frame to the map. Now there is just a moment. There is this option of adding a frame. So if you select this complete map and you go to this item properties, in this item properties, if you scroll down, you will find something called as frame. Check this frame and you will see that a black box outside of this map will appear. This box is until the extent of your map, the map extent that we initially created. Now you can change the color of the frame here. So if you see the color option here, you can change the frame here, click on it, change the color to maybe red if you want, right? So the color is now changed to purple, I guess. No, sorry, red only. So if I'm selecting outside, yeah, it is red. Similarly, you can increase the thickness of it. Right? You can change other options here. The position style, you can give it a little rotation if you want a tilt. Now, one very important thing is left here. We have the data, we have the scale bar, we have the legend, we have the north arrow. What is left out here is the coordinates. Where is our coordinate system? Coordinate system is important, right? Now we will manage our coordinate system. We will add to this frame a coordinate system and also a title. To add a coordinate system, what you can do is, just a moment. Okay, let us first add a title here. So on the left, you will find this option, that is add label. Simply select the space and you will find it is added here. So to edit the inside text, you need to go to the main properties and change this lorem ipsum. So click on this edit expression here. Sorry, not the expression. You can just simply delete this and write, for example, this is population density map of Punjab. In the font, in the appearance section, click on the font. Increase the size of the font if you want. You can change the location also. There is an option here about the color of it. So for example, if I want to change it to red, right, make it a little more bigger. So I have the population density map of Punjab here. So this is how you can add labels here. You can add multiple labels, multiple text to this. So if you want to add some kind of definition or write some copyright thing, you can write it using this label tag. Now select the complete overview of it. In this item properties here, now you will find something here that is called as grid. In grid, initially this option is empty here. You need to add a grid. So once you add a grid, it will be called as grid 1. Select this grid and click on modify. Now you will see some new options. So in this grid, you have to select what kind of grid do you want. So for example, if I choose in solid, cross, markers, frame and annotation only, I will show you what this grid actually means. So in this particular only, just go down and first of all select this draw coordinates. Okay, in frame, add interior and exterior ticks, or maybe just exterior ticks. Okay, now you can use the project CRS for the coordinate system and map units. Grid type, you can choose frame and annotations only. Now you have to do some hit and trial here. Why hit and trial? Because you want where you have to see the placement of the coordinates here. So for example, I will try 0.9 for X and 0.9 for Y. Because I have already tried this and I know that the area falls, it will be shown properly when I will choose 0.9. But you have to do hit and trial. You maybe first have to put simply 5 here, or maybe 0.2 here. You have to see the placement of these coordinates. So now you can see my latitude and longitude appears. So for example, if I choose solid line, what will happen? A solid line overall will be created. If I choose cross, this map will be created. This cross type map is particularly used in geosciences or physics or markers. Then we have these dots, or just the most commonly used one, that is the marker and annotation. That is the latitude and longitude are placed outside of the frame. Now just select it again. There is this one limitation of QGIS. Whenever you click outside of it, it will throw you out of that options list. Then you have to again click on it. Then you have to again click on it. Go to the grids again. In grid, you have to go again to the modify grid. So make sure you complete your work here, then click outside. Otherwise, it will throw you out again from this option. So we have created the annotation. You can change the font as well as you can change the color of it here. For example, if I want to increase the thickness of these lines, right? Maybe if I want to increase the frame margin, I want to change how this looks like. If I don't want exterior text, I want interior and exterior text. If I want maybe zebra type of map, if I want line border nautical, right? So it depends on you which one you want to select. Now there is the grid rotation option. You can click on it and add some rotational value and the grid will rotate. Now this is one thing that we visualized here. Now one thing about this QGIS is, for example, if I show you it in a new layout, let us create one more layout. Before that, let me show you this part. Simply what you have to do is, now I want to export this map as a PDF. What I can do is simply go to layout, export as PDF. Now there are some particular options that you need to understand while creating a PDF. Now there is this option, always export as vector. Now the benefit of exporting the PDF as a vector is that once that PDF is generated, how much ever you zoom into it, it will not blur out, it will not get distorted. So it is best that you export the PDF always as a vector, right? So choose this option. Then there is this another option, that is create geospatial PDF. So this is important because this gives us an option to click on any point in the PDF and know the latitude, longitude of that. Okay, so this map imparts some location to it. So it is always suggested that you check these two options, that is export as vector and create geospatial PDF. So for example, now there are the possible layers shown here which you want to show in the PDF. So let me just simply click on save. So I have the PDF here now. So if you see this PDF, if I zoom into it, the clarity of it, it is not getting blur, it is not getting how to say that word in English, it is not getting apart, the pixels are not getting apart. Okay, just because we chose to export it as a vector. Now, once you export as a vector, you will find there are other options in the PDF itself. For example, if you click on this layer option, we are not able to see the other layers for some reason. Okay, because this all is just a single layer, right? If there were multiple layers in this data, so what would happen is it would appear here, and we can turn off some data and some data on. So this is some extra special feature of this vector PDF. Okay. Now in QGIS, if I save this, uh, okay, let me just close this one. Now if I create a new layout, it is not just that I could create one map here. I can create multiple maps here. So for example, if I want to showcase first, let me showcase the Punjab state. So this is the Punjab state, right? I will click on add map. This is our Punjab state. So in this map, click on it, and in item properties, not in item properties, just a moment. Yeah, in item properties, in the layers option, make sure you click on this lock layers. So why I'm doing this, I will explain. Click on this lock layer, lock style for layers. Now when I will make any changes to this layer now, there will be no changes here. The layer has been locked. It will remain like this forever. So I can add a frame to it maybe. So for example, if I add a frame here, a frame is added. Now I can add another map also. I can add as many as maps to this interface. So for example, now I turn on the clipped data, right? And this time I add another map. So you will see whatever the interface is now there, it will show up. So you can simply go and lock it also. Lock this layer and create maps like this. So for research purposes, for thesis, what people do is, for example, the whole India and then the particular state they are working on, then they can make some arrows. So for example, this was India, they can make arrow that this is this state. Okay, so showcasing your data like this, there are many options that you can add from here. You can add attribute table, HTML, many options are available to you here. So maybe just let us try to load the other Indian layer first. Let me give you one good example. Add map. So the shapefile here is wrong, but we can choose another file that I showed you how to download from the SOI Survey of India. Okay, now once you have this, what you can do is you can create arrows from here. So for example, this is your data, this is your data, right? You can create maps like this. So I hope this tutorial was clear to you. If you have any doubts, you can let me know, and otherwise we'll see you in the next session. Okay then. Take care.